The next step is to add in any outsourced hours. So sometimes we might outsource work, whether currently to E2M or to an Upworker or to something to the like, and we need to account for it on the task. So this step would be part one, refer to the Google sheet titled State of the Spark Hours, which is this sheet which we've referenced. And here's the very next available row. It's for an item titled ECU New Checkout Page Price Points. And the outsourced company typically refers to it here, and the hours used. And you can sometimes just click and open. That would provide a shortcut. To stay oriented, I'm going to close that out and go directly to continue with our list, but you're welcome to follow that link as well, just to ensure that that task has been accounted for. But we know that this is the ECU new checkout page price point. So we go to ECU and we look for new checkout page price points. We don't need these red support follow-ups, so we could get rid of those, or the troubleshoot, if you will. But new checkout page price points is the one we're referring to. Let's open that one up. Now, this one has a ton of hours, and we'll get into that at another time. But for the purposes of this training, we're going to be adding in 6 hours. So the first thing we want to do is just open up Time Tracked and look and see, have these hours been added manually yet? And we're looking for, you can click on a person's name to see what they've logged or what they've manually entered. And you can see you want to double check to make sure you're not double charging the client. But I can see that I have, there is an entry here for 6 hours. In all probability, it is the 6 hours, and there are notes. And yes, my notes say E2M. So if I click into this, it'll tell me my notes say E2M, and I manually added 6 hours. So I've already added those here, and so I can take this entire row. We'll get to that in a second. So we refer to the Google Sheet Spark hours. We've opened up the ClickUp task referenced, and we add in the hours if they have not been added yet. And then we change the color of that row, just like I was about to do. We select the row and we simply change the color to light gray. And now we know that that is done. To give you a follow-up example, we go to Humarian, we go to create Shopify menu to match Divi menu. Okay, let's look for that item. So we can close this out. That's ready to be invoiced. So we're currently looking at Humarian, and this should be under here, Humarian subtasks. And we're looking for the task titled Create Shopify Menu to Match Divi Menu. So create Shopify Menu to Match Divi Menu. We go into that. We go into the hours tracked, and we're just looking to see, did someone add in how many hours? 2.5 hours. Well, this actually says 2.5 hours here, and it looks like Amber has gone ahead and added these, and she should get a pat on the back for that, because I don't recall us delegating that to her. I did not add these in. It says E2M here back in December, so it looks like we've already spent 3 hours on this item back in December, 8 hours in December. And that does raise a separate question. We should double check to make sure we haven't invoiced for this yet. And that can simply be checked by looking into completed items or sent items to make sure we haven't sent an invoice including these already. But this is a pretty good probability that all of these logged items, E2M, 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 have been manually added by Amber to cover our basis. So we can actually go here. This was on the 5th. You can double check that on the 5th. And look into Amber's task right there on the 5th, 2.5 hours. That matches well enough and rationally enough that we don't want to double charge the client. So we've set that to gray. And that is how you add in, any outsourced hours, and complete that for all the outsourced hours until all of these have been changed to light gray.